But it's pertinent and imperative to know, why is Africa not independent today? Our independence has only been in paper and not in action. For when independence were given, they gave us the crown, but the jewelries were taken away from us. Oh Africa, when will you recognize the fact that you have so much to gain as one? Africa, you a continent that have so many rivers in your belly. When will your children fish from your rivers? Oh Africa, your children travel to the Mediterranean Sea only to become cleaners in Spain. But it is important to know that when Africa was regaining our independence, when Ghana gained our independence, as the first country to do that in West Africa, Kwame Nkrumah, in the eve of Ghanaians' independence in 1957, said it loud and clear to the Ghanaians, and he said, our independence as Ghanaians means nothing if other Africans are not independent. It means nothing if Algeria is not independent. It means nothing if Angola is not independent. It means nothing if Gabon, if Niger, if Nigeria, if Tunisia, if Togo, if Uganda, if Zambia, if Zimbabwe, if Eritrea is not independent. Our independence means nothing if we cannot feed ourselves. Oh, Kwame Nkrumah reminded them on that day that Africa is not poor. It is Africans who are poor, because she has failed to take from the numerous resources that has been embedded in her. Oh, Kwame Nkrumah will say for whom the town criers ring the bell for. He said on that day that Africa is the only continent that produces that which she does not consume and consumes that which she does not produce. Kwame Nkrumah had the foresight of a Jewish prophet and the humility of a Nigerian carpenter. Kwame Nkrumah wanted the United States of Africa. He said it in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. He said it in Casablanca, Morocco. He said to them, we need to be independent. We need to be united again. As Africans, we need to have one army, one currency, one foreign policy, so we can tackle social political problem and the growing neo-colonialism and imperialism that is alive and well in Africa. But some of African leaders refuse to listen to Kwame Nkrumah out of their own selfishness, because they never wanted the United States of Africa. They wanted to be in charge of their little sovereignty, because the conceptual West was already influencing their thought process. And so Africa was divided into groups. The Casablanca group. This group was made up of Ghana, Egypt, Algeria, Morocco, Guinea, and Mali. This group and so many other countries in Africa say, yes, Africa must be free, and Africa must be free now, and we must be united, and we must be united now or never. That was the opinion, the tenet, the perspective. That was the ideology of Casablanca group. And then we had another group called the Brazzaville group. This group was made up of Cameroon, Congo, Brazzaville, Senegal. This group and other groups like Ivory Coast said, no, Africa do not need to be independent. There's another group called the Brazzaville group. The Brazzaville group were made up of Cameroon, made up of Congo, Brazzaville, Ivory Coast, Senegal, among others. They said, no, Africa do not need to be united. Just control your little sovereignty and you will make the continent great. And we had another group called the Moravia group. The Moravia group were made up of Nigeria, Ethiopia, Liberia, Sierra Leone, and many others. They said, yes, Africa needs to be united, but not now. It's going to be a gradual process. But the Casablanca group countered them and said, no, if we are to be united, it must be now or never. For if we are not united, the conceptual West will come back. And how can a country as small as Central African Republic tackle foreign policy if Africa is not united? Then, instead of having United States of Africa, we ended up having OAU, Organization of African Unity, when 30 charter independent African countries sat in Addis Ababa, the capital of Ethiopia. On 25th May 1963, OAU was formed to tackle Africa's political, social problems and to fight imperialism and neocolonialism. But OAU has been described as a toothless bulldog by so many commentators. We wanted the United States of Africa, but we ended up having OAU, and our problem still lingers. For OAU have not in a long form solved our problems.